Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jim Fide. I'm your security training instructor for the afternoon. Everybody motivated? Everybody happy to be here?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to be covering radio communications. Radio communications, and I know what everybody's thinking. Come on, Jim, radio communications? I talk on my phone. I talk on my cell phone all the time. I know all about communications. But in the nuclear industry, there are certain things about communications that are different. Can anybody give me an example?
Three-way communication.
Three-way communication.
Phonetic alphabet.
Phonetic alphabet, exactly. Those are two great examples of communication at a nuclear power plant. All right, standards and expectations regarding this training class. Punctuality, be on time for training. You get a break, be back from your break on time. Housekeeping, leave the area just as clean, if not cleaner than you found it. And cell phones. Cell phones go on vibrate or turn them off. Vibrate if you're expecting that emergency phone call. What will you do if your radio fails? All right, you're a security officer on patrol. You're walking the fence line. You're on the far side of the plant. There's nobody around. Boom, you have an explosion. Shots fired. Somebody's shooting at you. You take cover. You grab your radio. You get white noise. What do? Well, hopefully after this lesson plan is over, you'll know exactly what to do. This course will cover the use of security communications equipment at Pilgrim Nuclear Power Plant and communicating with the security force members as well as station personnel. The expectation is when you talk to the control room, the operators, you do use three-part communication as well as the phonetic alphabet. Security officers will be evaluated by job performance measures, JPMs. You'll be required to conduct radio communications using three-part communication, as well as conduct testing on security communications equipment. Operating experience. On February 20th, 2014, at around 6:50, a security officer was performing gate control duties. This is a frequently performed task. After the testing was completed, the security officer was walking back through the gate, not realizing it was closing, and became pinned in the VBS gate. The officer was transported by ambulance to a local hospital to be evaluated for injuries. Key learning: there was no three-way communication between the officer and the CAS operator when the gate was closed, as required by process. So yes, communication is that important. Failure to use proper communication can have you exiting the plant in an ambulance. On December 15th, 2013, one of our security officers was putting on her tactical vest. All our security officers have tactical vests that holds the ammunition. We issue everybody a radio pouch, but we don't require them to use the radio pouch. If they want to keep the radio in their pocket, that's fine. A lot of people keep the radio where their ammo goes because it's just right there in front of them. Well, with the radio, the antenna sticks up. This individual, while putting her vest on, poked herself in the eye with the antenna. She failed to recognize the potential hazard to the radio that was in one of her pockets on the vest, specifically the antenna sticking up from the pocket. They also failed to pay appropriate attention to detail and move their face in a downward motion when the antenna made contact with the individual eye. Terminal objectives. While posted on duty, the security force members will use effective communications and proper operation of the radio system in accordance with PNPS Security Procedure 7.01. Enabling objectives. Upon completion of this lesson, the trainee will be able to identify the communication systems available to the security force, list two good characteristics of good communications, describe compensatory measures that will be taken in the event you lose communications, state when communications equipment is required to be tested, given a letter, state the corresponding identifier used in the phonetic alphabet, and demonstrate three-part communication. Any questions? All right, that's all I have for the intro.
Nice job, Jim. How'd you feel up there?
Well, I feel good, but now I know why you were saying we need to bring a glass of water into class.
Thirsty. Did you get dry mouth?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, we're now going to talk then, so you can relax up there, and we'll give you some feedback. And Ryan, can we start with you?
Sure. I really like what you did with the safety moment. You started reading it, and then you pulled it back away, and you looked at us, and you gave us that personal experience, what you actually saw, and what you witnessed throughout the entire thing. That was good. And then the command presence, man, it's good. I didn't really have any bad.
I thought you spoke with great authority and command, though. For security officers, that might work, but you might scare some people that aren't security if they're new. Good hook. You know, you told the story with some real oomph. Maybe you can explain this to me because I have it as a Delta, but I'm not sure it's a Delta. What was the pass-fail criteria? JP, is that like TPE?
The job performance measures, the supervisor will evaluate you
Yes.
based on demonstrating what you have to do.
Got it. Okay. There were a couple times where I thought you were reading the slides a little too much, and then holding eye contact a little bit longer in between. That you would glance around, but rarely did you like hold eye contact. So,
Good to go.
Matt, how about you?
I thought you had great tone. I thought you had good eye contact, me personally. You had command of the room, a lot like Mike. I hope I can take that away from you too, and Jerry. I think you guys got command of the room, so that's something I really need to work on. I think you three are very good at it. And your OEs were great, especially I was at Dave and Bessie, or not Dave and Bessie. Or is that the one where the kids guy got pitched between the fence?
I believe it's Dwayne Arnold.
Dwayne Arnold, yeah. So, that's great for three, communications. So, again, like Ryan, I don't have a lot of negative. I thought you did very well. So,
I thought you did very well, had very good voice tone, very good command. You give a good lead in to what students will learn from the class, from what they could expect to get out of this and how they would they would know how to respond, if they had just a white noise on the radio. So that was very good there. Had good class participation. You asked feedback from the class early on, got it. That was all very good. You did have a little bit of reading up front, but you tend to go away from that, and changed your tactics a little bit, started using this monitor before, and this you were using just that one, and so it was obvious that you were reading early on, but as you started looking over here, it was not as obvious. So, good.
Yeah, tone and presence knocked it out of the park. I haven't seen that first OE before. Can you explain to me how that ties into communications? I guess I didn't see it, or maybe I didn't hear it right. The one where they got caught in the gate. Was that definitely a communication thing, or?
Yeah, the OE that I had stated they didn't use 3-part communication when shutting the gate. He didn't know the gate was being shut. So most likely, I wasn't there, but the gas operator probably should have said, security officer, I'm shutting the gate. Security officer copies, shut the gate.
Okay. I just didn't get that from your introduction, and you said that they were doing a test, and then they got caught in the gate, and then you briefly said something about communication on it.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, maybe I just missed it. And then after your scenario, getting caught on the backside of the plant, nobody else around, you asked the question to the class, what would you do? Well, and then you went right into, right after that, was that intentional?
Yes.
I didn't put it down as a delta because I figured it was intentional.
One of you hanging.
Perfect. I thought it was well done.
And I too, Jim, I thought you did a great job. I love your energy and your confidence and your enthusiasm. And I think that a voice is every instructor's cheapest, best tool. If the power goes out, I just had instructors call the power went out, I'm at AT&T, what do you want me to do? I'm like, get back in that room and do something, As long as your voice is working, it doesn't matter if the computer shut down or anything else happens. And I think your voice is so commanding, it makes me feel like I need to pay attention. I definitely can't sit back here and go to sleep because you're not going to let me. So I think your voice is your strongest tool that you have, and you use it well. You had OE, my only, and this is a detailed thought, just something else to do, is to try to include the students, weave them into your story if you can. One of your students threw out, I think maybe it was Jerry, threw out three-way communication. Early on, you asked a question, how does it impact us? Three-way communication in the nuclear and then when you brought up an OE that involved three-way communication, try to remember and circle back to that student and pull them in. As Jerry mentioned, Jerry threw out three-way communication. Here's an OE about three-way communication, so you're exactly right. Just weaves that story and it makes them become tighter and tighter engaged with the lesson instead of the instructor and the students. We want to weave it so that it's kind of one unit, not such a dividing line. So, and that's a little detail, but nice job. Good work. Okay, everybody went? We are going to copy and let Jim go watch his video. The other groups, it's hard to know where the other groups are, and so very possibly they may still have one or two people left. So when the other groups are done, we're all going to gather back in that big room. So take a break, do what you need to do, and we'll just have to pay attention to see when the other groups finish.
10 then, probably? 10:15.